Sir, please go ahead, sir.
Yeah. Okay. So that's where the first surgery went through. Am I audible?
Yes.
Hello?
Yes.
Yeah, you can all hear me, right? So I joined PSPD, and then of course we are in the grind. We were having financial problems and losses, and then they put me on top gear straight away. So things were going on at a hectic speed. I was going for my regular 6 monthly medical checkups and things like that, and I was on medication. But then what happened is somewhere along the line, around 2008, 2009, I took things for granted and I stopped going for my medical checkups. And around 2013, there was a problem with Padma, and I was to take her to Apollo Hospital for a treatment and all that. Then I was sitting idle. I went and met Mr. Dr. Surya Prakash Rao, and he said, "Where are you all these years?" I said, "I've been busy. There's nothing doing. Come, let's do your heart check." He did a 2D echo test and then scanning and all that. And he said, "What the hell you have done to yourself? This is now 3 years. You didn't go for any checkups. And, see, as I told you, there are 4 walls in the heart. So one of the walls called mitral wall, which is on the left side of the atrium. So through the mitral wall, the purified blood goes to the rest of the body after oxygenation. So the mitral wall is a kind of non-lethal wall. It opens, the blood flows and goes moving, closing, opening. So the valve is supposed to be very efficient, and that valve, because of the profuse leak all these years and the extra load it was taking, of course, rest of the valves were also leaking, but this one was the worst. So the valve totally has become defunct. By the time 2013, the checkup was done, somewhere around maybe June or something like that, the checkup was done. Then he said the situation is much more precarious than the first surgery time, because if the valve is not functioning, the chances of infection hitting the heart is very, very high. If there is a fever, if you get a virus, you get any other infection, if it reaches the heart and the infection or whatever it is, bacteria settles down in the leaky valve area, then it's fatal. So he says immediately you should go for an open heart surgery and get your valve replaced. I said, "What is this problem again?" He says, no, you know that you have a problem inside and you have to be careful, and you lost track of it for 3 years and you have to pay the penalty now. Again, so again the story started. So by the time I was almost, I crossed 14, 15 years of my surgery. So I said, I have the experience behind me. I was more stronger this time. With Dr. Surya Prakash Shah, Kantilal Shah. Then we went around. I met again doctors. Dr. Cherian I went and met. Dr. Frehan I met. But both of them did in the late 50s. But now they have become close to 70 and they were not doing any more surgery. They said, "We'll do your surgery, but under my supervision it will happen. My patients will do it." I said, "I'll not take the risk." So then we scouted around and finally we zeroed down on Dr. Ramakant Panda, who was at that time in the today is number one in the country. His success rate is 99.7%, and he is Padma Vibhushan, and he was doing triple bypass for Manmohan Singh, and he is on the panel of President of India, Prime Minister of India, and things like that. And he runs a hospital in Bombay Kotla Road. Sorry, what is that road? I forgot. So the Bandra Kotla Road. It's called the Asian Heart Institute, and it is 100% cardiac institute. It's top class in India. That's the best. So I went there. I couldn't get his appointment in the first place. Then used some contacts, and finally he gave time. His objective is that I am a cardiac surgeon. I spend more time in doing surgeries rather than talking to the people and doing consultation. But somehow I got his appointment for 10 minutes. He came out and he has seen my reports and all that. He said, "Jogarao, I don't want to. There are two ways of solving your problem. One is repair the wall. Two is replace the wall. Replacing the wall has got a lot of problems for the rest of your life. But repairing the wall means you are making it as good as what God has created. So that's what I will attempt, and I'm very successful at doing that. So therefore, I'll repair the wall, which is a tricky surgery. The heart itself is about your fist size, and then within that the wall is, like small little this side, and the wall has got like fins. They keep moving up and down and keep closing. So when they close, they are tight, and when they are open, they open like this. So he has to support those leaves by repairing it, by putting extra tissue so that they become more stiffer and then work normally. So it was a very tricky surgery, but he said, you have come to the best person in the country, and if you have no worries, if you are psychologically strong, I'll do the surgery for you. I said, I came to the best surgeon in the country. I leave it to you, sir. You do your best job, and rest we leave it to the God. So finally, it was discussed with him, and he said he'll do the mitral valve repair. So that was, sometime in the month of September, and he gave me the date of 25th October as the surgery date. So again, the story started. This time, my children have grown up. My wife is also mentally better placed this time. We have come back to India. I was with ITC PSPD, financially well settled, thanks to Mr. Chuk for my Dubai stint, and subsequently in ITC PSPD with the ESOPs and all that. I'm much better placed financially this time compared to what I was in 1999. So some of the issues were taken care, but this time the chances of survival, I went to Nanavati Hospital where Amitabh got just now treated, and I met one Dr. Shetty, and he's head of cardiology. He said the chances of survival this time is 40%. So I said, okay, fine. I am prepared now this time mentally, so no problem. So as a professional, prudent ITC executive, I made a detailed checklist with all the passwords, accounts, where, what, everything. And I gave a copy of that to my wife, and one to my son and one to my daughter. And then fully prepared to walk into the theater, hoping that I'll come out, but with also a good 60% chance of not coming out. I said, fine. So if that is destined, and if I have to die at the age of whatever it is, 59 or whatever it is, I'll die. So it was 58. So finally, what happened is the surgery date was fixed. I went and admitted myself in the hospital on 20th of October. This hospital is so professional. Dr. Ramakant Panda says if a patient is coming to the theater, I don't want him to have any other problems except the heart problem. So for the first 5 days, I was treated for anything else, dental problem, eye problems, anything. And I was made ready for the surgery without any other problems. So on 25th of October morning, they took me into the theater. Same old story, my brother was there. This time I had a lot of support from PSPD. Swarup was there, Sriman was there, 24/7 on the line. Sharori was calling, so much of concern. Sanjay was there. So the whole department, materials department was praying for me. Friends like Christina, the whole gang in PSPD were praying for me. I said, fine, with all these good prayers, and if I'm a good person, generally I should come out. If I'm not, then I'll go up. So on 25th morning, when they prepared me for the surgery, I went through the same mental trauma what I went through in 1999. One more time, you'll be seeing the people for the last time when you're taken on the stretcher. I took some pictures with my family, my children, my brother. By the time, unfortunately, this surgery happened, my second brother, Dr. Avdani, passed away with a heart problem. So I had only one eldest brother of mine with me. So the theater was, I was taken into the theater. This time what happened is, there were more complications for two reasons. One is the surgery itself was very tricky because he was repairing the wall. The other problem was, when I was operated the first time by Dr. Cherian, as I told you, there's a pericardium insulation layer around your heart. For a normal heart, like all of you have, there's an insulation called pericardium layer, which keeps the heart suspended not connected to any of your other parts of the body. So in my case, when the pericardium was disturbed in the first surgery, the external heart is nothing but a piece of muscle. So it developed a lot of tissue and muscle, and the bleeding heart got stuck to the lungs. And it became, a part of lungs, and it got stuck like this. So the doctors this time had to, like a butcher, cut the entire muscle, external muscle developed around the heart, and remove it from the lungs where it got stuck. That thing took almost 3 hours, 40 minutes or something like that. So that was a preparatory action, but very risky and tricky. I was already on ventilator. Then when the heart was separated from the lungs, after removing the muscle and all that, then Dr. Ramakant Panda came into the picture, and he opened the heart and did the wall repair and all that, which was very, very like a minute surgery. So I went in around 8:30 in the morning, and that night around 1:30 or 1:45, my brother, Padma, my wife, were told that he is now okay, surgery is done, he is in the ICU. So they again said this story. Around 1:30, 2 o'clock, they came and saw me through the glass doors. I was having cold all over. I didn't recognize it. I was still under sedation and the anesthesia effect. So I never knew what was happening. So I was on ventilator this time for 18 hours, and more than 14 units of blood was given. So the surgery was done, and 4 days ICU. Then finally I was moved to the ward. By the time I reached the ward, my wife and my brother, my children, everybody can see me, come and talk to me. I was very weak, but then at least I could talk. So 2 days went by in the normal ward without any problem. So my children went away. My son was in Toronto, Canada, and my daughter was in Bangalore. She went back. My brother went back. Everybody went back. Only Padma and me were left, because they thought it's all over now. This fellow is back to normal. He's in the ward. So another 1 week, 10 days, he'll be all right. We'll come and then take him to Hyderabad. That night, I remember exactly one day before the Diwali night, and around 4:30, 5 o'clock, my palpitations went up, and I was getting tossed up in the bed because of breathlessness. And at one point in time, I was thinking I'm going to die, because when you don't get enough oxygen into your system, I could experience that. Close your nostrils and mouth and hold it for about 1 minute. You feel that pressure, and if you hold it for another 1 minute, you feel as if you're going to die. Your face will become red, and that's how you get choked to death. So that feeling was coming, and I was feeling I'm going to die. Then I shouted for Padma. She came running. Then I said, call the duty doctor. And Diwali time is big time in Maharashtra, Gujarat, and all that. All these fellows went on holiday. Dr. Ramakant went to Switzerland on a holiday. And there was only a duty doctor who is an MBBS guy. He was shouting at the nurses whenever I could get strength. They said, sir, we don't know anything. I said, call your already head of post-surgery, head of cardiology, and ask him to give necessary instructions. Let him come here. I've come to the best doctor, best hospital. And just to give you an idea, Apollo, for the same surgery, a package was given at 7.5 lakhs. I have paid 25 lakhs to Asian Heart Institute to Ramakant Panda. So it's 4 times more than any of the other best hospitals in the country. So I said, I'm paying so much. I've come to the best hospital and best doctors. How can you leave me like this? Now the surgery is over and I may die anytime. Then I said, I'm telling my wife, she's through your hospital and you'll be in deep trouble. Even if I am gone, I'll see that you are in trouble. Then that fellow duty doctor got panicky. He started calling everybody, and there's a guy called D'Souza who was post-operative cardiac head, senior guy. So he immediately came rushing. He said, he fired those fellows. Why the hell you guys have left him in the normal room? Immediately take him to ICU. Put him on oxygen, medication and all that. So I was again, within 48 hours after this removing from ICU, again back to ICU. And the whole night was very, very tricky. Padma was all alone. And we were waiting. And of course, I was conscious. I was not given any anesthesia and all that. Next day morning, by about 8:30, Dr. D'Souza came. And all the tests were done and all that. He said, boss, there's a problem. Your lungs are filled with water. and that water is so much that is causing the breathlessness. And luckily, you made a lot of noise, so in time, these fellows have been instructed to take care of you. Otherwise, it was fatal yesterday evening. So, what is the reports? He said we'll have to take you into theater again and puncture a hole on your lumbar, on your vertical column, and then draw the water. And any puncture on your lumbar column is very, very, very painful, unbelievable pain. They gave local anesthesia and did the puncture and removed the water. It came out like 2 liters of water in a bottle. He asked me, "Would you like to see the water what you got from your lung?" I said, "I don't want to look at the Ganga Jal. Keep it with you, but see that I am out of this problem." So finally, the water was removed, and I was in ICU for another 2 days. And later, they moved me to the ward, and then I recovered. That's when I was going through the physiotherapy and rehabilitation, Pradeep came down from Calcutta to see me. Thanks, Pradeep. You're a dear friend, though you're a boss, but I always look at you as a dear friend and extended family member. So he looked at me how this fellow is recovering, and two nurses were holding me and making me walk on the corridor of Asian Heart Institute. So finally, to fly back after 16 days, I had to take permission from the hospital, and then with all the oxygen support and all that, flew back to Hyderabad. This time, I tell you, there's substantial improvement in the technology. The pain I went through in the first surgery and the pain I went through in the second surgery and post-recovery, post-operative recovery is much better. And on 26th, I was operated. 10th or 11th of November, I returned to Hyderabad. And just to give you an idea how quickly I recovered, I had a Thanksgiving party on 27th of December in Secunderabad Club. More than 350 people, PSPD and other friends, everybody was there, and we had a glass of wine and opened champagne bottles in just about 40 days after the surgery. And then by maybe end of January or so, I started attending work. So this is the story. And then the final part. Now, the surgery happened in 2013 October. I was going for regular medical checkups and all that. Again, in 2019, there was a little gap. I didn't go for 1 year for checkups. 2019 March, I went for a routine cardiac checkup. And the doctor said, Dr. Surya Prakash, as usual, my friend, philosopher, guide, again you are in trouble. Your mitral valve repair work, which was done in 2010, 2013, is failed. So mitral valve is totally defunct now. It's profusely leaking. It's called mitral regurgitation in medical terms. That means the valve is not working and the blood is flowing back and forth the way it wants. So that is the same. So therefore, another surgery is required. You have to go for an open heart surgery. And this time, we'll have to replace the valve. That was in March 2019, about 1 year ago. And then I again went through the same references and discussions. I met Dr. Panda. This time I met Dr. Devi Shetty also. Thanks to Mr. P. Kapoor. He gave a reference and I met Dr. Devi Shetty. Then I met a couple of other cardiac surgeons in Delhi. Everybody said, yeah, you have to go through one more open heart surgery and you have to get your valve replaced. Now in the valves, there are two categories. One is tissue valve, one is metal valve. The metal valve is long lasting. It don't get worn out so quickly, but then it has got a lot of issues. You have to have a lot of restrictions on your intake of food. Your blood thinners have to be very, very consistent. You can't have your blood consistency going up and down, then you'll die. You can't, above all, you cannot have an accident. You cannot have a cut. You cannot have an accident. You can't bleed because the blood is made so thin. The moment there's a cut, it will flow like a tap water, and then you'll bleed and die. So therefore, metal valve has its own problem. Tissue valve is good as human tissue valve, but then it has got lesser life. Best is about 10 years. So they said, what do you suggest? I said, I don't suggest anything. You tell me what I have to do. So Dr. Panda recommended he'll do a tissue valve for me. So now I have a lifespan of about 10 years after the surgery, give or take. It may fail even in 5 years' time also. But then 10 is definitely possible if I keep my health and general physics good. Then after 10 years, technology improves. There is something wall-in-wall technology without invasive, non-invasive surgeries and all that. So they may replace the wall 10 years later. But right now, because of coronavirus, I'm stuck. It's almost 1 year after they have identified there's a problem with the valve again. So I'm waiting for the coronavirus to get over, go to the doctor, take his opinion, and go for third surgery. Now, in the meanwhile, doctor said because of the coronavirus and also my general health heart problem, you maintain your health in top condition. You should not have any infections, keep your immunity levels very, very high, and keep your general physique very good. So that's why I'm working out every day, almost 250 to 300 minutes. I cut down my weight by almost 10 kilos. General physique is good. I don't get, breathing problems when I take the steps or I run. So generally I'm okay now. But then God forbid something happens thanks to COVID, I don't know. But otherwise, I'm looking forward to go for another surgery post-COVID. And this time it will be a valve replacement surgery. So that's where the story ends. And if you have any doubts, I'm here to answer, but I'm not a cardiologist. I can only give you general answers.
Thank you very much, sir. I'm sorry, people. My webcam is troubling, so you all can't see me. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. I can see you. I can't see you, but I can hear you.
Yeah, that's what. So
Yeah, we can hear you.
I'll be off the
But
webcam because it's
Durga,
not.
your
There's some.
video is off.
No, that's some issue, sir. Mr. Jogarao, please put your webcam on, sir.
It is on, but it says it's on and it. One second. Okay.
Mine also is not getting connected. There's some problem.
Video
It says. So I'll continue like
now,
this.
now it's okay.
Yeah,
Yoga
yeah,
is
there's,
Now
covered.
it's okay.
yeah, yeah.
Yoga,
Yeah, we are now able to see yoga.
Yeah. No, I'll continue without the webcam because it's not working. Now we can go ahead with the question answer session, please. So those of you
can
who
you
have unmute yourself and then again mute yourself once you finish.
Mr. Jogarao.
Go ahead, Basu. Yeah, please go ahead.
Mr. Jogarao, you are able to hear me?
Can you make it a little louder?
Mr. Jogarao, you are able to hear me?
Yes.
I can hear you, but the voice is a little feeble.
Is it okay now?
Yeah, slightly better. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Before anything, before asking any questions, I want to do two things for you. Hello.
Sorry, Basu, give me a minute, no? Not minutes, some seconds. I just need to tell everybody, please put on your audio only when you want to speak, okay?
Yeah,
Thank you.
Yes. Okay. Is it okay?
Yes, please go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mr. Jogara, before my asking any questions, I want to do two things. One is as frustration for you from my house here, from Australia, for your this passing through this kind of thing. I have not heard.
Not clear. Basu.
And other people, Chris, you are able to hear me?
Yes.
1 minute. Let me just. I'll just. Okay. One second, please.
Somebody else can go ahead, please, with the.
Yeah. Is it clear, Mr. Jogara?
Yes.
Yeah, I can hear you, Surya.
Yeah. No. I want to do a namaskar for you at the first instance before doing anything else. A prostration, in sincere prostration for this kind of having passed through this, and you have come like this is something I have never heard of. And a small question I wanted to ask is, how come as if that somebody else is the patient and you are the person attended to him? You have given a narrative like this. I don't think how it is possible for you to give as if that you have seen it in front of you, the actions. You have given a narrative, which is remarkable. Hats off to you, Mr. Jogara, and God bless you. You are going to surgery as if you are going visiting some thing. You are saying that your language is such. I am envying all these things. I don't think anybody else will have this kind of thing. Your what is that? Willpower is remarkable. Hats off to you. God bless you. You will live for 100 years. You will live for 100 years to at least give this inspiration to so many people.
Thank you,
This is what
Pastor.
I wanted to tell before anybody else says it. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
That is all the best you have to. God bless you, Mr. Jawara. God bless
Thank you, Pastor.
Thank,
Thank you.
thank you, Chris. Thank you, Chris. This is what I want to say.
Welcome.
See,
Anybody
basically, what I would like to advise everybody, I'm not a great achiever or anything like that, but the experience I went through, I want to gently give a feel to others that when there is adversity hitting you, you should keep your mind strong.
Exactly.
If you
That is
get
what.
psychologically bogged down, you're finished.
That is
So
what.
one is that, whatever is predetermined, what is bound to happen will happen. But if you keep thinking, brooding about it day in and day out, you feel more sick and you'll become actually psychological wreck. So it's better to keep your mind clear, prepare mentally and physically for the eventuality, then you always come out successful. That's what I looked at even in ITC stint, whatever I had. Whenever the adversity hits, you have to really go ahead with your plans. I'm sure if you work well and do your homework, groundwork very clear, you'll 99% come out successful. So that helped me. In fact, when I was discussing this with Mr. Wiley, he said you used all management principles in your personal life, he said.
Yeah, that's true. But I think in the present corona crisis, your this kind of this thing, state of mind will help really, because otherwise, a lot of people are, once they go into that respirator ventilator, this thing, they are totally, it shakes them. So that I think, this it's a really a mindset is really admirable. Thank you for all of you. God bless you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, Zoga, can I?
Yes, please. Chris, you can, somebody else continue.
Yes. Dr. Barla, please go ahead. Dr. Barla, are you there?
Yeah, Zoga.
Yeah.
No, yes, not.
Can't hear you, Barla. You are unmute, but we are not able to hear you.
So another little point I want to add here. See, in the Asian Heart Institute, they're so professional, like Prakash told me earlier. They show a video of the surgery, what they're going to do on the person next day, the family members. They insist that you come to the theater and have a look at the video. This is what we're going to do your person, whether it is your brother, wife, or husband, or anybody. This is the procedure we followed. This is the exact surgery what we're going to perform tomorrow. So they're mentally prepared and they tell them clearly in no uncertain terms, these are the risks involved. You come here with all these ideas. So therefore, go through it peacefully without any mental tension.
Dr.
Yeah,
Barla, please go ahead, sir.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Thank you, Zoga. It's a very absorbing, very touching story that you have given us. We've had a chance to hear you after a long time. Both of us joined in 1982, almost at the same time. Although we developed ourselves into different groups. And good to see you after a long time also. And you have given us
Can't hear, Barla.
horse's mouth.
Can't hear.
Maybe next speaker till the time it gets resolved.
Marla, we're not able to hear you. You have headphones? Try with the headphones.
In the meantime, somebody else can put their question, please. We have very less time left.
Yoga, I want to ask a question.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have heard a lot about your exercise regime, etc.
Yeah.
We haven't heard anything about your diet.
Diet.
Because you work out so much, you are consuming 2000 odd calories every day. How much calorie intake you're taking?
Yeah. See, what I do is I decide on the diet what doctors have suggested, which is low fat, low sugar, low oil, low salt. So, keeping these 4 things in mind, I generally keep my diet what they suggest. Morning, I have a glass of milk with protein and maybe a boiled egg or an omelette, and then of course a banana. And then I'll have 2 rotis and a vegetable in the afternoon. Evening, I have a cup of tea and couple of low sugar biscuits. And then night, again, we'll have the 2 chapatis, 1 bowl of brown rice and yogurt and vegetable. This is the whole diet plan. In between, we may have a glass of juice or coconut water or something like that. That overall intake of calories is around 1750 to 1800 calories.
Correct.
So my general workout, okay, exceptional days I go up to 1800, 1850 calories, but average I burn about 1350 to 1400 calories. So what happens is the imbalance is taken care by the rest. When you are sleeping, also you generally give rest to your whole body. That takes care of the general fatigue. So I am not finding it now. Actually, initial days I used to find it difficult, but in the last 5 months, ever since the corona problem started, I have been working on this regime, and today I'm now totally settled. If we do like in the festival or somebody's birthday, I eat a little more, then you feel upset. So the diet intake and the workouts are balanced now, and it's doing well.
What are the food items that are forbidden for you and items that you should not take? And
No. It's no sugar, low oil, low salt, and one more item I just told. And of course, carbs you have to keep under control. Not too much of carbohydrates. So oil, salt, and sugar you have to keep under check.
Yeah. Any particular brand that you use for the oil in the family?
See, what we are doing is for cooking, 99.9% we use olive oil, which is supposed to be the best in terms of low fats and high protein levels. So for cooking, we use olive oil, and for eating, nothing else. So for omelette and all that, we use olive oil. Sometimes if there's a festival or some birthday, Padma makes something, she use sunflower oil for deep frying anything like, vadas or something like that. But normal cooking, day-to-day cooking, we use olive oil.
I think it is the greatness of the parents, the genetic superiority also which has protected. We must salute your parents. We must salute you for teaching us such a beautiful courage, a story, and a better life that all of us can learn quite a lot from this story, Yoga. God bless you. Our prayers for your 100 years and more. Take care.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks so much.
And to Padma and children as well, Yoga. They also, to sustain this, sometimes the pressure on them is much higher than the pressure on you when you're gone inside,
Absolutely.
Tremendous pressure. Because there's a feeling of helplessness,
Pradeep, you are talking about the feeling of helplessness. I have gone through for nearly 2 weeks when my wife was seriously ill and I lost her.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Yoga, I really appreciate the way you are living your life. Very joyful. Okay. I remember you as joy, not yoga. Okay. Your life
Good
is
one.
full of joy.
Very true.
No. What taught me in these two surgeries and subsequent development is that you don't know when what will happen here. So better enjoy the time what you have in your hand.
We better rename him as Jai Rao, not Jagara.
No, we
Hey,
have another Joy Rao
not
in
the
the
joy
company.
in Bhagavatam there.
She's also
Have
Joy
another
Rao.
Joy Rao in the company. She's also Joy Rao.
Yeah, we used to have, yeah.
Yeah.
Not used to. She's still there.
Yoga, please convey my heartfelt congratulations to your wife who has gone through all these things, because she has equally suffered and
I tell
come out as a
you,
winner.
yeah, there are 3-4 people I always remember in my life. One is of course my wife and my children, and the outside my family I rate Pradeep Doble as one of my great friends and well-wishers. He has been always there when there's a problem. He stood like a rock behind me. That is one thing which gives you so much confidence, you know. And then, of course, the two cardiologists in Apollo Hospital, Dr. Kantilal Shah and Dr. Surya Prakash Rao. At the middle of night, 2 o'clock also, if I call, they get up and talk to me and they guide me, you know. So these are 3-4 people who actually support you and give you the necessary strength. And you always feel that, yeah, if something goes wrong, there is somebody to take care of your problem.
Joga, just one point I want to mention to you. I've been reading quite a lot about mitral valve replacement of late. And although you know more on the subject than anyone else of us, but whatever little I know, the mitral valve replacement is very successful nowadays. And 99% of the cases are very successful. Even in Hyderabad, the mitral valve replacement is being done.
Yeah.
And I think with all the technology which is available now, your replacement is more successful this time than even the first episode, second episode, which was more riskier. So you are absolutely risky now with all the technology and documents that are available.
Correct.
Go ahead with a confident and successful. God bless you. You have a long. Our prayers.
Yeah.
Yoga.
Yeah.
Yoga. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Really kudos to you and Padma actually. I know how much Padma would have gone through, and then it's actually both of you. One thing is that you whatever you have done last 2 years by strengthening heart, now by exercising and all, I used to feel that you're doing little exercise now, but it's not so now. I know that you have to strengthen it in such a way that it should be ready for operation again. That is the thing, actually. So very good. And also, the doctors are like gods, actually. Really gods, actually. You can really see now the way they perform. And even we have Makarand in our family who had his mitral valve, I think, got replaced. And it was done through robotics in Chennai. Actually, he got it done through robotics in Chennai. So it's going to be a good. Don't worry. I know.
See,
I know.
I have no
We
worries
don't have to
now.
say.
I have
I know we don't have to say
to
that.
go and I'm prepared to stay as well. So I give a 50% chance. Anything happens, it's all in the hands of the God.
And the great thing about checklist and all that, it's we are normally people emotionally they miss that and say that they don't want to think about it. They don't want to think like I don't want to think like that. Don't worry. So it's actually great that you've done that plan B and all that. It's good actually. And frankly, great people and good people, the God always will take care. That is there. It's all the good you have done actually the world that is keeping you so alive and then so joyous. Good Yoga. And give my best to Padma also. Padma also give her regards. Padma also. Good. Yep.
Thank you. Thanks so much.
Yoga, God is great, and wish you long life. Don't have any problem. This time also you will come out successful. And I know you very well. I know your spirit that keeps you going.
Yeah.
And you will play gully cricket with Sresh Rao again.
Yeah, we are playing every day, and we will play.
And share the spirit as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Miss Juga, we are all there to pray for you.
Yes.
Thank you so
All
much.
our
Thank
prayers.
Yeah, the whole ITC prays, the whole PSPD prays, the whole families of their PSPD prays. Everybody prays for you.
you. Yeah, thanks a lot. Yeah, thanks.
And on that
We're all your friends.
particular day, the entire day, everybody's praying for you. So there's nothing is
I
going to happen.
know. I remember when I came back from Bombay in Indigo flight, at the airport, there was Lorraine White, and her sister-in-law works in airport. They arranged a wheelchair, and a lot of people were there, a doctor, everybody. I was shocked. Srinath was there, whole department was there, Swarup was there. It's very nice of all of you guys, yeah, because it's all what matters is your relationship. End of the day, that gives you a lot of strength.
True.
Yoga, how rare this case must be? The same person undergoing 2 open heart surgeries and possibly a third one. It must be very, very rare, no?
Very
I know. In my case, the problem is that it was not detected in the initial stages when I was a kid.
Correct.
No,
So
probably
the
we
heart was
can.
getting all sorts of problems. Therefore, they repeated surgeries.
Okay.
Pradeep, this hole in the wall,
Yeah.
if it is detected within 10 years of age and all that, it's very easy to.
Yeah, it's easy to do when you're much younger, when the
Much younger,
flexibility and all that is there.
In his case, it is
Flexibility?
really surprising.
No.
Until 42nd year.
No,
Wondering whether this deserves to be made into a movie or something.
No, as you grow, actually, what happens is the whole size
Yoga,
of the
shall we produce a movie, our post-retirement new initiative?
A good idea, Pradeep.
I think.
So we have a lot of in-house talent. We have a lot of in-house talent.
No, you don't have death for screenplay because Yoga himself can write a good screenplay.
Yoga himself can write and we produce
Very
a
good
multilingual.
The way in which he narrated, he can write a very good screenplay.
I remember Akkineni Nagesharao went through 3 surgeries, not only surgeries but also the blood transplant many times. He used to go to US, get this done and come back. Now the same.
So is it open heart surgeries?
Yeah, it was open.
Oh,
and
okay.
he lived 85 or 88. And after the surgeries, normally people get stronger, heart becomes better. But here in Nagesharao,
No,
Barla, you need to do something about your audio system. Virtually every session we have this problem with your audio.
Yoga, you know to what league you belong to now.
Nagesharao, Yoga is definitely going to beat his 85 years.
Yeah. I mean that.
No.
Not
The
85,
point
100.
is,
That's what.
when the wall is replaced, I got a 10-year lifespan. The wall will last only about 10 years.
No, by that time there will be technology.
By that time,
By
if
that
not
time there will
tissue,
be.
some other valve will be there.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry to interrupt, but I have to tell you all that we have. Excuse me.
No, we can conclude now, Christine.
Yeah.
Okay.
I have to tell you all that we have just 5 minutes, and I would request Mr. Shivnarayan to give us the vote of thanks.
for Yoga now, it is like a felt change, Vault replacement for him is like a felt change on the paper machine.
Yeah, Shiva.
Yeah, good morning, everyone. Thank you, Christina, for giving me the opportunity once again. And what can I say? I mean, we are just speechless. And as Mr. Basu told about prostrating, I will do a nice pranam to the will and grit of Jogarao Garu. And more importantly, sharing it with all of us so that we can also imbibe any such exigency, not necessarily heart, but we can replicate it in any exigency of our lives. And the 12 years I worked with Jogarao Garu, I never seen him as a heart patient. of course, even today we don't see him as a heart patient. Even after his such detailed explanation, mainly because of who he has seen himself not as a patient. I think that is the crux of the whole issue. And hats off to Padma Garu going through all this. And thanks, or the vote of thanks is also addressed to Padma Garu.
Thank you.
Before the second surgery, with the annual medical checkup at ITC, how come Jogar Garu has missed his cardiac checks, prompting him some sort of emergency? So that was some immediate thought which I got. The planning, preparation, the shortlisting, even shortlisting surgeon to self shows meticulous aspects of Jogar Garu, just like treating it as a project, basically. I mean, it's somebody can do that. It's part of it, and after the perseverance and the confidence and getting back to normalcy, sometimes even bypassing the advice of not driving for a certain period, shows resilience and the bouncing back nature of Jogar Garu. Pradeep sir told I think he meant it, but though it sounded in a lighter vein, it has all the ingredients of a story. In the climax, the lungs being filled with water is actually. Otherwise, everybody would think the second surgery is over and everything is fine. So, with water, and the latest, even the preparation for the third surgery is all twist of a tail and a truth, so to say. Fantastic ingredients of a life worth emulating, experiencing, and learning, facing any eventuality. Hats off to you, sir. Once again, we keep learning and living. And in fact, the 99, when you're back to materials, that was when I was also into materials, but I was not knowing the detailed story, what prompted such a movement. But I think God has his own ways. And God bless you, sir. All the very best to you and your family. And thank you all the participants for joining and making the discussion so lively. And all of us learned from this great experience. Thank you, Krishna. Thank you, Barlagaru, for continuing and making our Sundays fantastic and worthwhile. Thank you all.
Yeah, Lakshmi
Yeah.
would like to say something. Please go ahead.
Yeah.
Please go ahead.
Great all this, and my only I can say is we'll all clap for Jogara. And say thank you, Jogara. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thanks a lot, everybody. I only hope that this experience will enrich you with some medical knowledge and some perseverance and the mental strength.
Thank you very much, Mr. Jogarao. Thank you, everybody, for being with us this morning. And
Have a
what
nice
a
Sunday.